This is our second class on cloud computing. Okay. So what we have, just a recap of the previous one. So that was the cloud computing definition. What are the cloud computing? It is massively scalable, as told by Gartner. Okay, uh, and basically it is a pool of abstract, mean the virtual machines will be there. Then we also need to have the basically on-demand access from anywhere, anytime, and the resources will be shared. Means one resources will be shared among resources means one IT infrastructure actually. The CPU, bare machine servers and all will be shared among uh, multiple person. After that, yeah, one disadvantage is basically the security, okay, and the vendor lock-in. So we cannot do audit of the cloud providers. We have three deployment model: public cloud, majorly public cloud is being used. Another is private cloud for means military organization or government organizations. So this is not shared. And hybrid cloud use cases, as I told you, that companies are running on-premise infrastructure for a long time. That organization, if they want to means migrate to cloud, then they will have something in the on-premise and something in the cloud. So that is actually the hybrid cloud. Apart from that, we are having service model. Service model is infrastructure as a service. So if you need only the computing power, means the CPU, hard disk, RAM, and network, these will be coming under infrastructure. And it is basically being used by the system administrator. Okay. PaaS platform. Platform will be actually used by the developers. So to create the applications on the cloud, this is also available. So that is platform as a service. Suppose you are working in Java or you are working in Python. So those libraries, those compilers, those binaries has to be there to write a program. And the last one is software as a service. Yes, everything means managed by the client provider like Salesforce. We all are the end users on that. So IaaS for application developer, PaaS is for software application sorry, IaaS is for administrator, PaaS is for the developers, and SaaS is for the end users. After that, we have seen those things. We have, yeah, virtualizations. We have seen there is one, the core of the cloud computing is virtualization, where one physical infrastructure is being shared by multiple users. That VM means virtual machines actually. Okay, so these virtual machines may have different types of operating systems. Okay, there is one software which leads to this virtualization is hypervisor. So that actually helps us to create the virtual machines, put a boundary between the virtual machines so that there is no data transfer, and means this is the heart of the cloud computing. We have two types of virtual machines. Some examples, name of the virtual machines are given, type 1 and type 2. Type 1 virtual machine does not require an operating system to run on the physical server, and type 2 actually runs over the operating system. But the aim is same, to create the virtual machines out of the physical hardwares. Okay, then these are the cloud uh, basically the cloud providers right now. Okay, AWS leading this. Okay, there is a graph. We can see AWS definitely 2006 started from 2006. Azure from Microsoft started in 2011 itself. But they are the major cloud providers across the globe. Then we have a Google Cloud, which is also coming up, and we have Salesforce also, which is a CRM based. So that is also means having a good presence in the cloud market. Okay. So after that, we have seen this. This is very important. We can we can have two types of costing, means pricing model. One is metering, pay as you go type of thing. So you only pay whatever you use. And there is non-metered. Suppose after 2-3 years, if you have idea how much computing power or resources you need, then you can commit that. So in 1 year, we will be using 5 computers of that type of servers. That type of servers means there will be different types of hard means specification of the servers. So you can commit so that you can get up to 70% discount, even if you are booking the computer in the lean periods. So that is the non-metered. Then what happened? 1 second. Okay, these are the 5 things that you have to remember. This is a very important slide for your type of work. Okay, so how do you choose the pricing model? You have to select the right size, which is very difficult. You have to increase the elasticity, means during the load actually your computing power means computing resources will be scaled up, and during the lean period it will scale down. Okay, leverage the right pricing model. There are different discounts and all, so you have to select one of the good means right pricing model for your organizations. You have to optimize your storage, because the storage also cost a lot. Storage, then every time you store something, that is being stored in the replication sites as well. So there is a connectivity. We will see that in the next slide, I think. So that connectivity costs are also basically built. So storage is a means area where we have to optimize our cost, and you have to monitor your expenditure over the cloud over the period of time, so that next time you can commit some usage and can get some discount out of it. Okay, so those are the things we have already learned. So quickly, let me show you what is a typical cloud infrastructure looks like. Okay, so we know this is the client devices. We are having internet connected by internet. So now of there will be multiple data centers. Means cloud will definitely run in multiple data centers, where basically one of them will be primary data center, another will be your secondary data center or centers. Okay, so we will know means much of that. We will see how to do that. So that there will be a replication, actually replica of the primary data center to the secondary data centers. This is for disaster recovery. Okay, in primary data center, maybe in Mumbai, and your secondary data center maybe in Seoul. Okay, so that even if for the natural calamities, your service is uninterrupted. Okay, so you can see. Okay, let me everybody see my screen. Huh? Let me show you how cloud work actually. See, there are two types of storage. Okay, this one I am talking about the last portion, last line. One is file storage, another is block storage. Okay, so those block storage and file storage will have a backup, and this backup will be replicated in the secondary data center. Every time, whatever files you are putting, that will be again means backed up. Okay, otherwise means cloud, that is the way cloud work. Okay, So that is the storage area network. So each and every storage you are putting, there is a network connectivity between the infrastructure, means data centers. Okay, so that has to be established by the cloud provider, and it is working. You have physical servers, okay? You do not know where it is, but you know there are some virtual servers here. Similar infrastructure will be there, because we know if primary data center closed down, then we have a fallback option on secondary data center. We have cloud management system. We will see what is that actually, how it does look. We also have something called automated provisioning. Automated provisioning is nothing but, suppose one computer, one virtual machine is overloaded, then what will happen? It will be basically, they will add one more virtual computers to distribute the load. That is automated. Okay, and it definitely the cost will be higher. And identity management and authentication. So creating the users who will be having what type of access, those will be basically means managed by this. So each and every cloud provider, be it Amazon, be it Azure, Google, wherever you go, okay, this type of thing will be there. So what is that? There will be one data center, primary data center, and when you create a primary data center, there will be automatically another secondary data center will be created, which will be replicated real time. Any change in the data and all, which will be replicated real time. Why? To handle the disaster recovery scenario. Okay. Every means this automated provisioning, scale up and scale down has to be there. Okay. And of course, virtual servers has to be, means must be there. And there are the storages has to be basically connected with each other, huh, to for backing up the data, and to be in the sync between primary data center and secondary data center. Each and every web-based means each and every cloud providers will have that architecture. Any question, anything before I go ahead in the more detailed thing? Okay. Okay. So now suppose, now it is suppose what are the things you should be doing in the cloud? Suppose a company is deciding that they would like to get into the cloud to reduce the cost. Okay, to reduce the cost, and they basically they want to get rid of their means headache of maintaining a dedicated on-premise data center, and to reduce the cost. Then what are the things you need to see? Okay, first of all, this is a this is a cloud computing solution. Okay, just read this blue boxes. Do not go into that detail. First of all, you have to define the purpose. Understand what is the load, how many invoices you are creating per day, how many data transactions are being used. So you define the purpose and the load of your work on a daily basis, whatever you are performing in the on-premise of computers. Then depending on this purpose, define the hardware first. Define the hardware. What type of machines or what type of computing power you need. Okay, what type of computing power you need. So if you, this is very difficult actually. Okay, means to decide the load and decide the hardware. What type of computing power you need. Next one is you have to define the network. What should be your network connectivity? Whether means you will be running them, you will be passing the videos or big files, or you will be having only the data. So the That is the thing that you have to define or identify first your requirement. So network requirement has to be the next step. Then after network, you have to define the storage. Storage cost a lot, even in the cloud scenario. So define the storage actually. Okay, suppose you want to storage means on a regular basis you want to keep the data. Yes, it is a storage. Okay, it is online transaction processing. Remember, we have done something in the data warehousing, OLTP, online transaction processing. For online transaction processings, you will be using different types of file storage. Okay, if you want to go for a data warehousing system, that is also possible. Then you will be having some this glacier sort of thing. Actually, you need a huge data storage, but which will not be basically used by so many users. So those type of things you have to decide while you are defining your storage. So I'm going back. So first of all, you have to track what is your daily usage, why you would what you want to do with your data, how much data or how many transactions you are doing in your in your day-to-day life. Then you have to define the computing power. Then you have to define the network. What would be the network speed required? Everything cost. Huh? So if you select something more than your requirement, that will cost extra. Then you have to define the storage. Okay. Then after defining the storage, okay, you have to select the management processes and tools. Okay, auto scaling, scale up, scale down. Do you want that? What is the minimum number of virtual machines you want? So suppose I need 5 virtual machines suppose let us think about an example. Suppose Flipkart. Flipkart will have around 500 virtual machines on a regular basis. And they have told that during load, okay, suppose in Diwali or Christmas or Durga Puja, okay, their load will be increasing. So Flipkart told Amazon, just all those names are basically examples. Huh? So Flipkart has told Amazon that you will auto scale when the load will be much more and the maximum number of virtual machines will be 2000. So normally you will be having 500 virtual machines to cater normal load. But during Diwali or Durga Puja, when the load will increase, you can auto scale it up to 2000. Okay, 2000 virtual machines. So those type of things you have to say, right? The next one is define security. Define security means we know what is security, right? So what level of security you want? Do you want a 256-bit key? Key means private key, public key. I am talking about that. Okay, there is a KMS. You can see that KMS, it is basically key management system. So what will be the length of the key? Where the keys will be stored? Okay, then how to create a user? What are the roles the user will be getting? So all those security means related things has to be decided first. This is extremely important. Otherwise, there will be a chance of losing data, corruptions and all. Okay, so that is the next part. And after that, we have another two, I think. Testing the process. You have to test the process everywhere. And lastly, there are some analytics. If you are doing some business, so obviously you will means you have to show some reports, weekly reports, monthly reports, quarterly reports, year-end reports. What are the reporting things that are available? And what are the reporting things you are required? There may be thousands of reporting to definitely you be available for each cloud vendors. and it is adding up. So you have to select what is the requirement of your company for the reporting purpose, automated reporting. Okay, so you can even choose the analytics of those. Okay, so again, this is very important and right for your type of work. One is you have to first define how much you need. Okay, then you have to define the hardware, define the network, and define the storage. That is basically your infrastructure definitions: hardware, network, and storage. IaaS layer. You have to decide first, right? Then you have to do some, you have to get some inbuilt tool actually, right? So whether how much auto scalings and all will be there, you have to tell the cloud provider what is the minimum virtual machine and maximum virtual machines. Define security. Okay, key management system. What should be your length of the keys and all, where it is kept, how it will be passing. Means the private key is known by you only. Public key is given to the entire world. So how this transfer of the keys will be done in the over the internet? What are the securities are there? So you should be knowing. You should be defining. Then what are the roles required for that? Huh? So who is going to get what role, that needs to be defining. You don't need to do anything, frankly speaking. You have to spend some money. Okay. You have to hire one Amazon consultant for that. They will come up with some, they have actually experienced with other companies. So they will be taking up with, they have some assets actually with them, which has been already implemented in other different companies across the globe. They will come with those assets and their technical knowledge, and they will support you to do that. Okay, they will be giving you a 13-page Excel file where you have to answer, do you need this? Do you need this? Do you need this? Okay, then they will help you out. There will be a 5 days workshop. Okay, so with the Amazon or whoever consultant you have hired, okay, there will be 5 days workshop by those people, cloud provider. Okay, they will help you out to decide your requirement, your hardware requirement, network requirement, security requirement. Okay, and the means the roles and responsibilities are previously defined by other companies. So those database will be made available to you, or that will be discussed during that workshop, so that you, before you get into that, you have a very good idea. Even maybe some certification will be there. Okay, very good idea about the client. So not to vary in that. So if some cloud migration project is there, you can definitely take it up. And means it's a fairly simple job, I would say, because majority of the data what other companies are doing, those data will be available. And what you have to do is you have to bear the cost of hiring a consultant from that particular cloud provider. Okay, so this is simple actually. It is not like your ERP implementation, which is very complex and it is time consuming. So within that 5 days of the workshop, you will be get to know the different features and different types of cloud bins requirement, how the computing power is being calculated, what would be the billing if we choose this one, this option, that option, all those things will be discussed. So it is a good exercise. It means you will be get to know all those things. So uh, this is the scenario actually. Okay, but the steps are those 8 steps process for basically for deciding, means for a good cloud migration. Okay, for there will be many startup companies, you may be involved in one of them. Okay, so you must be having some good idea what it should be taking to get into the cloud. For a small startup company, okay, so definitely you are not going to hire a full-fledged consultant for 5 days of training. Okay, there will be some, maybe they will be giving you one Excel sheet, and then you have to means fill up that Excel sheet and then sit with the consultant for a day or two to reduce the cost. Okay, so those type of options are everywhere available. Before anything, you have to open a free account actually, which is available in all the cloud providers thing. So you can see, okay, you can read several documents. You can see what it takes to create a virtual machine, how long does it take, and all. What is the network speed? Okay, so those type of things you can test it before getting locked with the vendor, cloud provider, vendor in the sense cloud provider. Okay, so just this is very important actually. One thing very important for you is the pricing model. So whenever, whatever, if there is something in the cloud, cloud providers has made this pricing model very complex. There are several discounted options. Okay, so it is a selling thing. So you have to be very much aware what are the options available first. Then you should have something in your mind, something like that. It is nothing to discuss with others. Okay, you keep this thing in your mind. Okay, we will talk on this in next couple of slides. So there will be virtual machines, there will be storage, there will be that auto scaling part. Okay, there will be that identity management and authentication from by which you will be granting the roles, creating the users. And there will be multiple data centers which is in sync or means or real time. So that type of structure is given, architecture. And then these 8 points: define the purpose, define the hardware, network, storage, then the auto scaling part, security, testing, and the reports, analytics. Okay, so these 8 things has to be remembered. This slide, we are just not going to basically mugging up this. We will not remember anything else. This is a extremely good slide. Dojo means has created that. We are interested only the left services. Each and every cloud providers are having this type of services. Okay, we are not interested with the names. Okay, we can refer this slide after means once required, but we will just means just focus on this leftmost corner, that first column actually, services. What are the services we have normally? Normally, what are the services we have from a cloud provider? Okay, all the cloud providers must have all those services. Otherwise, they will not means exist in the market. Okay, so virtual servers, of course, we need virtual machines. Okay, hypervisor. Huh? Whenever you are hearing this term, virtual server, virtual machine, VM, VMware, all those names, you one thing should come to your mind is hypervisor. Hypervisor is the software or a software tool actually, okay, which makes virtualization possible. Okay, serverless computing. Now we have just talked about virtual server. Now we are talking about serverless. Okay, just opposite. Serverless computing. Suppose you want to run a piece of code, piece of Python code. Okay, will you hire a server? Small thing. It will run for 5 seconds or 5 minutes, and it will run for one instance actually. Means some trigger will be there, then that code will run for 5 minutes. For that, you don't need to get the virtual servers. Okay, that is known as serverless computing, which is basically um, suppose one user has been created. That user has updated his or her photo. Okay, through in the website. Suppose just I'm giving an example of serverless computing. So that user has uploaded his or her photo. The photo will be having different dimension, different length and width, okay, height, okay, and it may be JPEG, it may be BMP. So whenever user uploads a photo, okay, a small code will be running, to make it in a particular size or shape of the photo. That is one of the use cases. So that code is not running every time. Whenever the trigger is the photo is uploaded by the user, then you are basically running that code for suppose 30 minutes, 30 seconds. Okay, and the photograph you are storing somewhere. So that for that you don't need to get into that IaaS model or so. You just tell Amazon or Azure or Google that this code will run in this trigger. So 5 minutes that I need this serverless computing. Kubernetes, forget about this. This is a highly technical thing. Object storage. Okay. Then there are basically three types of storage: object storage, file storage, and block storage. Okay. So those are the three types of things. We are not going to suppose you would like to store what to say. You would like to store you have to store a object means what to okay. Uh, you would like to store your CV in the database. CV will come into a PDF file or something, right? So that will be treated as the object. Okay. File storage means suppose there is a RDBMS and all are file storage actually. Block storage is something else. There the storage is divided into blocks. You cannot, you have to, if you want to delete that, all the blocks will be deleted and all. So those are relational database. We have seen data in the database section. There is some two types of database. Older one, traditional one is the relational database. The other one is NoSQL database. Okay, relational database. Okay, all the cloud provider will provide you the relational database features. Okay, with you don't need to go ahead with Oracle. Okay, if you get into the Oracle, you will be getting relational database. That's perfectly okay. But even if you are hiring Azure, you will be getting the RDBMS features. Okay, so NoSQL database. So see the names actually AWS, it is DynamoDB. Okay, then virtual network. So there has to be a virtual network. Other than this, the virtual machines will be interacting within each other. So that is not desirable. So we are having a virtual network. Okay, DNS service. I was talking in that day. What is DNS? Domain name server. Means you have a domain name like Microsoft.com. That it is a domain name. Now this domain name has to be converted into IP address to before you get access to internet. So that feature is done by the DNS server. Okay, so DNS services must be there. Authentication and authorizations means creating the users, creating the roles, creating the permissions, associating the users with the right type of roles and permissions are being done with the authentication thing. Key management, public key, private key management has to be there. Okay, for the security purpose, the key length should be there. Okay, the certificate should be there. And the network security. There has to be a virtual firewall. Each and every portion of your network, when it is getting into the internet and coming inside the virtual network actually. Okay, so that is the network security. All those 10, 12 options, all these 10, 12 options must be there in all the cloud providers. Any question? Anything you would like to ask? Anything? Okay, tell me then. I will ask you the question. There is something called CDN. CDN. Anybody? Sorry. Anybody from means knows what is CDN? CDN.
It's a content delivery network.
Content delivery
Network.
network. Where it is used and what is the means we all using. We all are using this very frequently.
Like
CDN.
I think it's for like certain geographies, different servers are there.
Correct. Different. Where we are using this? Anybody? Anybody else? You see, have you ever wondered that the whenever you are trying to see the Netflix, those big movies, full screen mode are coming so smoothly? How is it possible? How is it possible actually? YouTube, all the streaming applications, okay, they are using CDN, content delivery network. Okay, what they are doing is they are actually keeping this is a caching service. They are actually storing those movies and videos in their means local server. Suppose in India we have thousands of CDN, maybe CDN. Okay, thousands of CDN across India, across the world. I do not know how many will be there. 100,000s maybe, or so many CDNs. So all these things are cached in the local data centers. So apart from the data center we were seeing, no? So there are data centers. Huh? Yes, there are data centers. Nobody is denying that. But we are also having the CDN, content delivery network. Okay. So those are the local data center for big files like videos and all, so that client user can have a better experience. They don't need to see the internet waiting, and you do not see the that cursor is round and round and round. Okay, so that is the CDN. Okay. Fine, fine then. If you do not have any question, can I go ahead? So
Yes,
this
sir.
slide is very important. So keep this slide for your purpose. Okay. Now we will be having a sort of theory and practical on AWS, because means I have worked on AWS, so I am basically will be giving you the AWS. Okay. So this is the logo. Okay. We will be seeing that. Okay. So what AWS infrastructure. Okay. So you see this is the logo for AWS regions, means the data centers. AWS call this data center as regions. So, okay. So they have government cloud, US West, US East, okay, US West, California, US is Oregon. Europe, we have 3, Dublin actually, right? Asia Pacific, Singapore, we have 2, we means Amazon or AWS have Asia Pacific, Tokyo. So these are the basically zones. They have divided the entire world into these 6 zones. 7, I think. 7 should be 7. 1, 2, yeah, US origin is 1. 7 zone. Okay. Each and every zone is having multiple means what to say, divisions. Now these yellow boxes, okay, these yellow boxes, okay, are basically AWS regions. Okay, AWS regions means the data centers. And just now we have seen no CDN in AWS, they are calling it edge location. See how many edge locations are there? So many edge locations actually for delivering your means heavy content faster. We will see much more than this. Okay, let me before I get into that. Okay, let me show you. Give a demo, small demo of AWS. Let's see. What is this? Why it is not going? Okay, this one. Why it is not going? Okay, anyway. So everybody see, means we are getting into Amazon. I have an account. Let me, my daughter actually have an account. Hold on. This is the AWS site. Okay. I have not yet in, right? You can have a free sign up, means registered now and all are there. So you can have a sign into the console. I will let me sign into the console with my user ID password. It will ask for the user ID password. No, I am already in. Good. Okay. Okay. That is the console actually. Okay. You see, whenever you are getting into the console, AWS console, I am also means by default I am having a means free account only. You can also have a free account. Okay. So you can definitely create a free account, and this is the health and charges are being shown. Okay, and so these are the special means different types of uh, what to say options are there. Okay, now first of all, I will click on the services. Let's see how many services what are there. Okay, so you have all those services. Okay, so actually you see you have analytics, you have AR and VR services, blockchain, everything, database. Okay, if you click on database, you see DynamoDB. Okay, is there NoSQL database. Okay, it has also have RDS. It is basically the RDBMS. You have something called game development, IoT, machine learning. So this type of architecture, if a company would like to set up. So suppose a company, a startup company who is interested for machine learning. Just I'm taking machine learning and Internet of Things. Many of them, many good amount means good proportion of the startup companies related to IT. Actually, they are dealing with the IoTs, Internet of Things, and machine learning. So if they want to set up this type of these two, then how much money they will need, and what will be the time taken to set up a infrastructure? But here they can just come into and start using the Internet of Things and machine learning. You click on that. Not only one software. They have so many softwares for machine learning applications. See, never-ending list of this. Okay, you can use translate if you want to translate this. Okay, then you can is recognition. This is image recognition actually. Okay, this is being used by Samsung majorly. If you if you go to Samsung mobile phone, if you go to Amazon, if you go to gallery, you select a face and then search, it will give all the photographs where this image is coming. Okay. Then text track from the image actually you can extract the text. So many things means it is uh, not comparable. Okay, so obviously the small companies, the startups will choose to get into this Internet of Things. You see, you cannot buy these softwares, correct? So all those things are this.
Sir, can you give a live demo for extracting text out of image?
No, no, no. For that I have to pay something. Okay. If you really want to get the extract of it, that can be done actually. You know, there are other softwares. You just get into that. That is not much, uh, means difficult thing. Okay. So that is one of the services. Now storage. Let us see our storage. AWS backups and all. But here actually S3 is the storage actually. S3 is the storage. S3, just clicking on the S3, just showing you something. Okay, we have already, so S3 means it is a storage. You first of all, you have to create a bucket. Just showing how to keep the small thing, just to create a file over here, create a bucket. Okay, you give a bucket name. You cannot give a space, bucket one. Bucket one. Okay, where you would like to keep that bucket? See, now it is coming your region and the data center portion. I just wanted to show you something here. In United States, okay, there are two data centers, regions actually, East means North Virginia and Ohio, right? In West, we have California, Oregon. Now Africa, it is why it is do not know. So these are basically Asia Pacific, Mumbai, okay. So Canada, Europe. So where do you want to keep that file? Suppose South America, Sao Paulo. Okay. Now I have created a file for Sao Paulo, right? Now copy settings for existing bucket, not required. ACL means that security things and all. I'm just creating a bucket actually. Bucket versioning, you can add tags, server side encryption. I am making it disable. Okay. So now just creating a bucket. Okay. Bucket name must not contain uppercase character. Okay, bhai, theek hai. It's smaller. Bucket with the same name already exists. Make it 11. Sorry? Oh, it is actually everybody has IIFT. Oh, sorry, it cannot take IIFT bucket 111. This name should not be there. Okay, in the Sao Paulo region, we are creating this bucket. Why we are creating the bucket? Because this is nothing but a folder where we will be just dragging the files and all. We are encrypting actually, we are disabling the encrypting. So you see IIFT bucket, this one has been created. Now I am just getting into that bucket. Okay, we do not have the file out here. Okay, so if you want to upload that file, so go ahead and upload actually, add files. Here you can do whatever. Or any file you can just upload that file. Okay, so this is it is giving you that all the files and we want to update in S3 to upload a longer than 160 GB. Use AW, CSI, SW, SDK and all. So the CSI is the command line interpreter. We don't want to use it. Okay. So that is just now I have created a bucket at somewhere in America. Okay. Here actually from here also you can see what are the data centers and where you would like to keep the data. Means we have used South America for the time being. Here is the list of the data centers. You can choose one from your for your files and all. Okay, so this bucketing is one of the means more one of the means storage actually which is being used. Okay. Now again we are going to service. Suppose let me suppose EC3, EC2. This is a virtual servers. Huh? Let us see what are the virtual server available here. Okay. So now right now it is Seol. Huh? So virtual server now I would like to see the instances or yes instances elastic IPs and all instances. Okay. Images actually. What are the virtual server we need? Okay. Hold on. Yeah. Here it is. Okay. Amazon machine images. So what are the machines images actually you can have? So from this is the list actually we can select the machines. You can select for the machines. Okay. There are different types of virtualization. So this is writing HVM. I do not know what that means. Okay, there are some softwares, Windows machine. Okay, where it is gone. This is basically, see, these are the operating system you will be getting if you select one of these. Red Hat Enterprise Linux. Okay, so there are different Windows machine, Linux machines. Okay, different operating system machines are being available. You can select any one of this. Okay, come down or make it smaller. You can select that architecture is this. Okay, then you will be having all of this AMI name is this. You will be coming down. Okay, description Zend server enterprise with PHP 7.0 on Red Hat Enterprise Linux. Okay, so this type of machines actually you can get from Amazon. Apart from that, you can have a catalog of things. Okay, this is very interesting. So you can use this type of thing. Okay, here the machine, Mac OS, all those extra machines for which you have to pay some money. Those machines are basically given. Free tier eligible because I am working in the free tier. So they are showing which are the machine basically free tier eligible. Okay, there are so many machines actually, Mac OS and all, which is not basically free tier enable. Ubuntu, if you know that Ubuntu is a operating system. So these are the never-ending list of virtual machines you can get by a single click. Okay. You can come to the home. Just clicking this one. So this is the area where you have to read actually. While you are going to migrate your means on-premise to cloud. Okay, are you getting started? No, I just wanted to show you the pricing model and all. Pricing. Here it is actually. Okay. See the pricing, if you click here, first of all, pricing is having you can create a free account. You can click here and they will charge you 2 rupees, and after that your 2 rupees will be refunded as well. So yeah, pay as you go, that is the metering, and when you commit actually, that is if you say that you are going to use that much of AWS resources, so you will be getting a long list of discount. Okay, so now let us see the price for Amazon EC2. Free tier, forget it. There are 4 types of thing. On demand means pay as you go. Okay. Dedicated host is for what? Private cloud. Okay. That is the example of private cloud. Dedicated host. Okay. So on demand is mostly means shared, but dedicated host is basically your private cloud. And you have some spot instance. If you do not have a on-demand thing, then you can get into that and get some spot means instance. It is so easy to get one. Savings plan, okay? Means there are some savings plan actually there. So how can you save the plan? So documents and 1 year, no upfront. There are so many other things, no upfront, partial upfront and all as so that is the discount. These are the discounts. So be very clear about what are the discounts and all you are getting. Instance name is this medium, upfront fee is 0, monthly fees is $11.75. On demand rate is 2.55, 0.0255. So these are the pricing options available. Okay. You can go back to the pricing again. Yeah, you can say a pricing calculator as well. Create a estimate will allow you to create a estimate for your okay, for your thing, but for that you have to know what is your requirement. So many items are basically given, you have to select one by one. Okay, suppose EC2. EC2 is your computing thing. So Amazon EC2. Okay, so you can get the pricing out here. Quick estimates, advanced estimates. How many virtual CPU you want? You want a 4 virtual CPU. You want memory is 16 GB memory. Okay. So all those okay. EC2 savings plan. Do you would like to go for a savings plan, or you don't you would like to for compute savings plan for 3 years? Okay, it will be even smaller. Okay, 30 GB space. Show the calculations. So it will be basically $3 US. Only $3 monthly. Okay, if you can get this virtual machine with $3 monthly. Okay, so that is the way you have to do the calculations. Inner part actually you will never do because that is a highly technical thing. Okay, but it is easy. And but this estimate, then defining the purpose, defining the security, okay, those things you must take part on those things. Okay, not only that, means we were seeing, no, 1 second, let me go back to the AWS again. Okay, not pricing. I don't want to do the pricing anymore. Okay. Hmm. These are the solutions are there. Okay, this solution part. So where for archiving, backup, blockchain, what are the solutions you can have? You can basically read on this and then get into that. So that's the life actually for cloud. Okay. Now let me go back to the screen again. Okay. This one is very important for all of you. Okay. Hmm. This is a cloud, actual cloud infrastructure. Okay. Now we have some idea about the regions of AWS. So this is the AWS region. Suppose this is in Ohio. Okay. East US. Region, this is a region, Ohio. In this region, there will be 3 to 6 availability zone. A, Z, A, or they call it AZ. Okay, availability zones. One region, this is the entire region, 3 to 6 availability zone. Each and every zone is means in sync. Real-time syncing is going on for disaster recovery, right? Huh? Resiliency. Anyway, so suppose this is a US West region. Okay, so no, sorry, this is a Ohio is not east. So this is basically three what three availability zone. So it is basically the availability zones are names as like this US East 2A, 2B, 2C, something like that. So this is basically there is a elastic load balancer. At the first layer, there will be a elastic load balancer. If the load is higher in this one machine, the load will be distributed among all these instances, computing power, computers. You can think of virtual machines. These are yellow ones are all virtual machines and blue ones are database. Okay. So these are the virtual machines. The load is being balanced. Remember this word, elastic load balancer. Very simple. So when the load is more, it will balance the load. How? It will distribute the load to other virtual machines. Okay. The virtual machines are in one line and the database you see in the next line. So you cannot, a user, I am here actually, I cannot access the database directly. Only I am hitting while I am giving the command aws.com. Actually, I am hitting that this elastic load balancer. Elastic load balancer is directing me to the less loaded virtual machine. And this virtual machine is accessing the databases, even if the database is being replicated in other availability zone. Okay, same virtual machines are basically being replicated. Okay, that is one thing. That is one part of the security. You are not allowed to access the database directly. You have to only hit the electric load balancer. Internal thing will be taken care by AWS. A good layer of security. Fine. Okay. After that, we have something called DynamoDB. What is that DynamoDB? This is relational database. This is DynamoDB means it is NoSQL database. Okay, these relational database are basically in the S3. Just now we have created a bucket. Where? In the storage, simple storage solution, S3, SSS, so it is known as S3, simple storage solutions. Then suppose you want to keep a backup, then the backup name is Glacier. Glacier, you know, means hearing this word, you can think of a big chunk of ice, right? So that is basically the data warehousing purpose. Okay. So RDBMS is residing in S3. Okay. All these files are in S3 bucket. It is, see, the shape is bucket. Okay. S3 bucket. We have Cloud Watch. Okay, we have to watch the cloud for some vulnerabilities, for some security threats. So there will be 24/7 this software is watching, Cloud Watch. Okay, Cloud Watch also will detect if virtual machine 1 is highly loaded. Okay, then auto scaling. See, this is the auto scaling. Auto scale these two, another one. Okay, for each and everything, they are getting the cloud trail like audit trail. Okay, AWS config, it is configuration file, highly technical. Okay, KMS must be there. KMS means key management system. We know that there are two types of keys, private, public. So KMS must be there. Okay, this is actually serverless auto thing, so I am not talking about that because we don't want to get into that much. Route, this is the, see the symbol, it is giving the arrow, right? Arrow sort of thing. So this is basically the DNS, means converting the domain name Microsoft.com to IP address 102.92 or something. Okay. Then most importantly, Amazon CloudFront. CloudFront is what? CDN, Content Delivery Network. So that the means it is basically giving the proper user experience while you are loading, seeing the videos, listening music or huge files actually. Understood? So that is basically the cloud infrastructure. Each, it is example from AWS, does not mean only AWS has this. It is basically in all, each and every cloud provider. Okay, so normally you can see that you can, from the name itself, you can see cloud front. So from the front, actually, it is serving the content, heavy content. Route 53. Route 53 is basically routing. Okay, routing what? Means the request. Request means the DNS, domain name. I want to see Microsoft.com. That domain name services. DynamoDB, we know this is the NoSQL database. So where is the SQL database? SQL database is residing here and being replicated in multiple availability zone. Okay, so there are two things. One is elastic load balancer and auto scaling. Okay, so load balancer will distribute the load across virtual machines. Virtual machine means hypervisor, remember that. Okay, auto scaling through AWS config. You have already told AWS or any other cloud provider that while the load will be more than that, suppose we are handling 10,000 people at one point of time, when it is 10,001, you add 2 virtual machines. Okay, when it is 12,001, you add another 2. If it is more than 20,000, another 10. Something of that sort of thing is given in the config for auto scaling. Everything is being recorded in the audit trail so that if tomorrow there is a jhanjat or court case, you can go to that. Okay, S3 is the storage system, very costly. See the bucket shape. Okay, bucket means what? Some storage. Okay, glacier. Glacier means huge data warehousing. Okay, and and there's this security features. CloudWatch. Every time something is happening and somebody is monitoring, if there are some security incident happened, vulnerabilities, threats, okay, and this is being written as CloudTrail. And if, whether the load is more and also all those things. Okay, so that is a cloud infrastructure these days. Okay, after so we know now we have given some ideas S3 and all we have talked about. So RDS is your basically the RDBMS. Then we know DynamoDB is the NoSQL database. Okay, these are the free tier thing. Okay, restrictions and all are also there, so we are not interested about that. So whatever we have discussed actually, if required, then we will be. I have given you this portion. This is the description I have given in that. Okay. So question is how, what is resiliency in cloud and how it is maintained? Resiliency means if there is a breakup, okay, you have to get rid of that and start performing. So it is basically given by the availability zone. In one region is big enough where we have how many availability zones? 3 to 6. Same for all the cloud providers. So if one availability zone goes down, not an issue. We have the second one. Second one goes down, we have the third one. Okay, by the time third one is working, the first one will be up. Okay, so that is the resiliency or disaster recovery. Okay, so what are the two name the um, different types of databases in cloud? One is traditional RDBMS, another is NoSQL database. Okay, how many different types of storage? One is this bucketing storage, all file storage or block storage. Okay, CDN means how the content is being shared nearer to the users to get a better idea. CDN, content delivery network. Okay, do you need what is the DNS service? Do you need a DNS service? Must. DNS must. What is that? Converting domain name to IP address. Okay. How security is maintained? Security is maintained through Elastic Load Balancer because it is giving a layer, and there is KMS encryptions and all are obviously there. For encryption, we need keys. For this management of keys, we need a service. Means key management service. You can say that everywhere you will be having. Okay, what is the heart of the cloud? Virtual machines are the heart of the cloud. Virtual machines are basically replicated among all the availability zone. If you create one virtual machine, automatically 3 to 6, depending on the number of availability zone, will be created, and it will be real-time synchronized. Below the virtual machine, you will be having the databases. So there is the security feature. What is the next best thing you like for cloud? Auto scaling or auto provisioning of hardware in just a click. Okay, that is the thing. Auto scaling. Okay, there are two auto. One is auto load balancer. It is known as elastic load balancer. Load is balanced automatically. Scaling is done automatically. Beauty is everyone would like to sell more, right? So scale up is being done automatically. Similarly, scale down is also being done automatically. When you do not need that, the auto scaling, basically it will scale up and scale down. Okay, depending on the commitment you have with the cloud provider. So two pricing model, pay as you go or commit. Commit, first time you may not be able to commit. Okay, so pay as you go to start with. After certain amount of time, you know what is your usage, what is your billing, then you start committing to get the different types of discount. Okay. What else? There is no services possible in today's world, okay, which will which is not available in the service list of the AWS, or not only AWS, sorry, in the cloud provider. Okay.
Sir, can you give any practical example where we can use this cloud computing in a consulting firm in real estate sector?
Real estate sector, no, means I do not have the data ready. Okay. But real estate sector, trust me, I have seen actually, not, I have not worked on that. In the DLF, okay, DLF, they are actually using cloud very heavily. Okay, even their drawings are basically stored and means demonstrated actually to the client. Okay, through cloud. See, one thing is very sure. Okay, forget about any cluster, be it real estate, be it IT, be it pharmaceutical. There are few things that will be required. Okay, as I was telling in the ERP. Okay, means they have to, means apart from doing their own business. Okay, as real estate DLF is building there, they have to have a finance department. They have to have a HR department, payroll, performance management system, sales. Okay, where sales means OTP, OTC, right? Order to cash. Then procurement, P2P. Okay, so all those systems are very common. Okay, at least any company can utilize those systems in the cloud instead of having them managed in the on-premise. Okay, forget about IoTs, machine learning, all those latest emerging technologies. Okay, so those basic building blocks of our IT infrastructure of any company that can easily go to cloud. Okay, so that will also reduce at least 10% of their operation cost. Okay, they can means reduce the manpower definitely, which is not good. Okay, and so that thing. Now, for special means use case for retail, or sorry, you told that retail, right? Or okay, special huh? Manufacturing. Huh?
No, sir, it was real estate like
Real estate, yeah. For a special use case for real estate, I do not have. Let me hold on. It must be there in their site. Okay, just let me see whether it is there. Customer enablement, AWS managed service. It is real estate, right? We do not have a search here. Support. No, I do explore more events. I'm parking your question. Let me try to get, okay? I do not have that, obviously, real estate case study, but there are many case studies available. in for different in industry in the site itself. Okay. I will search one for you for the real estate case study.
Okay, sir. If you are searching, please be specific to the companies who are providing the consultancy services to the clients, not the
Okay.
developers.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Let's see. Sure. You can also search. Okay. I will definitely give a try to get one. There are many case studies actually available. Where it is, I am not getting it right now. Anyway. Okay. Case studies. Okay. Let me use cases are there. Let me see, then I will come back to you. Okay. Real estate consultancy. Okay then. Let me stop out here. If you have any question, you can go ahead now, or we can talk on to next class. Tomorrow we have a class, right? Okay, fine. Fine then. Talk to you tomorrow then. We are closing the call now. Bye.